Hello, I'm Dr. David Ajibade, and I'm the founder and director of Brain and Body Foundation. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. David Ajibade, and I'm the founder and director of Brain and Body Foundation. And our goal, as you know, if you've been following our talks, is to help you understand how to take control of your health. And we've been focusing a lot on heart disease and hypertension and cardiovascular issues and things like that. Today, I wanted to focus squarely on the Nigerian and why we seem to be especially prone to heart disease and hypertension. I have about 7 here. And your question is, oh, the number 7 again. Why 7? I know. I mean, we have 7 continents, 7 seas. Rome was built on seven hills. I know. Anyway, it just seemed to happen that 7 was the number. So just bear with me. So here they are. I'm going to just run through them and then touch on each one within this short time that we have. 1, our diet. 2, our lifestyle. 3, our genes. 4, our socio-cultural environment. What's that? I'll get to it. 5, our mindset / attitude. 6, our physical environment. 7, our healthcare system. Okay. Let's start with the physical environment. Let's get that out of the way. We live in the tropical environment. We are faced with all kinds of infectious diseases because infectious diseases tend to be more prominent in the tropical areas. So we have a lot more of malaria, meningitis, salmonella, typhoid, things like that. What we don't realize is that all these recurrent infections, malaria, and all these other things that we tend to get a lot of the time, our children, our parents, our grandparents, we tend to deal with these things all the time. And this place an added burden, let's put it that way, an added burden on our bodies, especially on our immune systems, because our immune systems are what it helps to fight against these germs. But our immune system also helps to keep our cardiovascular system healthy. That's another talk for another time to explain why that is so, but just take it like that. That's physical environment. 2, let's talk about our diet. And in a previous segment, we've talked about why diet is so important for cardiovascular disease. What you want with diet, you want foods that will help to heal and repair or promote healing and repair of the cardiovascular system. And you want to avoid foods that cause damage. What we've seen, and I want to be careful about this because I'm going to be touching on toes here, but what we've seen is that a majority of our staple foods tend to promote rather than hinder cardiovascular disease. We take very starchy foods. What you don't know is that these starchy foods convert very rapidly into sugar. And of course, you know that sugar is not a good thing when it comes to heart disease and hypertension. So it's very important that we begin to look at what our foods are. If you get a chance to get our past talk on diet, I would say you should do that. But the suggestions are 3. You want to minimize the 3 whites: white bread, white sugar, and then what's the third one? White rice. Those can place a huge burden on our systems. You also want to reduce fried foods as much as possible because the frying of oil creates chemicals that are injurious to the inner lining of our blood vessels. And number 3, you want to avoid processed foods, avoid salty foods, avoid processed foods, especially when you're turning 40 and above because you have fewer reserves, you have less reserves, so you want to be sure that you're doing the right thing. You want to take cooked foods as opposed to fried foods as much as possible. The rawer your vegetables are, the better for you. All right, let's skip on to genes. We talked about genes in our previous talk on L-arginine. We black people tend not to be able to make L-arginine, which is important to make nitric oxide, which is important to heal our blood vessels. So we have a problem there when it comes to our genes. And the other reasons as well, the fact that we don't make vitamin D3 as well because we have dark skin and we don't expose ourselves to the sun. Get the tape. Our socio-cultural environment. Think about that. We live in an environment in which we tend to, we see all these conditions as to Western world conditions. We tend to say, well, God will take care of it. We tend to abrogate. We tend to just abdicate authority. We tend to feel that, well, everybody will be fine. Everything's going to be all right. We don't have a culture in which exercise and working out is systemic or cultural. We have a lot of churches, we have a lot of mosques, but if you were to look around for gyms, especially gyms that are available to the middle/lower income people, almost non-existent. We're pretty much on our own. We're in that category. In the Western world, it's quite different. You find gyms and you find areas where you can work out. You find parks where people can run around and all those things. Even at our work environments, those areas, they provide gyms in the corporations and the institutions where people work, so people can just rush out for their lunch break, have a quick 30-minute workout, and come back and continue working. We don't have that kind of mindset here, so it's very important. Speaking about mindsets, I'm going to go on to the next cause why we Nigerians tend to be more prone to heart disease. Mindset. I think I touched on it in the social cultural aspect, but mindset is like, we just don't see these things as important enough. We just don't see them as it's a serious problem. If someone is hypertensive, for the most part, we're just like, yeah, I'll take my drugs when I'm feeling bad, or when I feel that when I feel my blood pressure is going higher. So we don't really look at those things as seriously as we should, and people around us don't really take it seriously. So you tend to have this laissez-faire attitude. It's God's will. It's going to whatever will happen. You find it in the Western world that's not so true. You find a lot of people are really proactive about their health and taking control of their health. So we have a very the WHO says that the only two hindrances to vibrant health and longevity: ignorance and complacency. And I think we have complacency in boatloads, so as well as the ignorance. So it's important that we get information. Let's move on to our healthcare system. Healthcare system, if you have a heart attack in the Western world, you can call 911 or another number, and you'll be in the hospital within the hour. Over here, you just don't have access to that. And I'm not trying to slight the Ministry of Health. They're doing a fantastic job trying to fix things. But I'm just saying what is at present, what is on ground. We don't have access to that. We don't have access for proper checking of the status of our cardiovascular health. We don't. In several places around the world, you can check to see how well your blood is, your arteries, whether they are all clean and whether their blood is flowing well. Over here, those things are really, really expensive, if at all available. And so the healthcare system is still as its infancy, and I think it needs to be propped up a lot more to be able to deal with the cardiovascular issues of going on 200 million people in Nigeria, and I dare say a large percentage of the adults in this number will be having some kind of heart disease or the other. So it's very important that the healthcare system begins to step up and take care of, at least focus on cardiovascular health. My time is up. Lifestyle, well, you can deduce that. So we need to up our lifestyles to focus and improve our cardiovascular health. With that said, I want to say, take control of your cardiovascular health, take control of your health. Don't be lazy about it. Get information for yourself, for your sake, and for your family. Thank you.